no expectations to have made it here, but for Shopify, there is pressure, because going to LCQ is not a sure qualification route. We've seen how good the Brazilian teams look, the LATAM teams look. It's a long journey to make it to GCC, even as the two-time champ.
And it will be YFP trying to mix things up after falling just short of Shopify Rebellion in the upper bracket. Had to go to the lowers yesterday, pull off a reverse sweep versus Wadada, who are waiting and hoping their year will continue here. Sherrod, so strong versus YFP on this map previously, or rather versus Shopify, but has the support of the rest of the team behind them. As they creep forward into A main. Right now it's just Alexis waiting on the other side of this wall. And she falls away at just the right time, Mimi.
Yeah, gonna be able to back up, but still at risk here.
4 players face up. First kill goes Alexis's way, and seeing all those players is gonna signal immediately to Shopify to head over into the B side.
Now pressure on Corrupt, but Corrupt's gonna give this space. Leave the Viper wall as an opportunity to retake. The question is, how well can Shopify set up? They're gonna wanna fight into elbow.
Absolutely, Noya jumping up here with a little paranoia assist. Gonna seize all of this space. Now Corrupt will hear it all, and the rest of YFP is moving in from mid. As Shopify continue to get into a great position with 2 players up in heaven, it should be very difficult for YFP to find their way back onto the site. Sherrod, the first to face into the line, and a great shot from them. Will be traded out. A little bit messy as Zoriental takes another. And now it's just Noya left on her own. Position revealed in a 1-on-2 now. Pulls up with the Sheriff, but she's got to drop down. Has to win this fight as well. Half stick on the spike, and Noya will clutch it up for a 3K on the pistol.
What an incredible clutch there from Noya, stepping up when the team needed it. That's what's highlighting. Shopify have not had one hero this tournament, but if there has been someone consistently stepping up, it has been Noya. What a Red Bull clutch for her. Cannot believe that she manages to drop out of heaven, find the reset just at the perfect time to land that headshot. It's a 1v3 in the end, and such an impactful way to start this series.
And kind of a stunner for YFP as well, who thought they had exactly the position. We went out in the round. Now again, stepping up into A main. These early nets make it really hard for Sherrod to play. But again, the rest of the team behind, and these shots from Zoriental are lethal! 4 on the round will eventually fall down. But this puts Mel with so much left to do on 46 HP.
You couldn't get any better reply than that. 4K straight back after the clutch, and now for Mel, a very tough situation to navigate. YFP have fallen back, 2 players grouped towards spawn. Corrupt still just holding down towards mid. She wants to find an isolated fight, but with just a stinger and not much health, it's going to be so hard to kill any YFP players that are set up together.
Yep, and especially on either side, a thrifty round on round number 2. That all came down to Zoriental. Now with the ultimate unlocked, running back-to-back rounds, it looked like for YFP with the A main fight. And a little bit of a bait there from Sherrod. Everyone comes through the smoke looking for the chamber. Nobody looking right in front of them.
The chamber is so
tears
good.
them apart. Yeah.
For taking that kind of extremity control, even into this deadlock composition, that the net is normally going to dominate that space, because you're happy to sit in that net, wait to teleport out, and that gives such ample opportunity for that bait to happen, to contact into that space. They'll switch to chamber side, but Shopify, a bit more concentrated towards A to start this round.
We knew from the previous times these teams faced off, we were going to have a close series. A couple maps just decided by 2 rounds. Went Shopify's way to win that one. And of course gave Shopify the benefit of coming in without playing yesterday, with watching that whole game, but still being challenged already here in the first few rounds.
For YFP, what a run it's been though. Losing that game when they had ample opportunity to beat the best team in our region. And then going down 2 maps to start their lower final, having to run it all the way back with a reverse sweep, only to play another best of 5 today. They've shown such a resiliency to even make it to this point.
And there you go, Corrupt just ratting it up in the corner again. Shopify trying to peek on through the smokes, and again, they will fall victim to an unsuspecting angle.
And it's worth talking about. This is a new comp for YFP. But when I spoke to Corrupt last night after the win in that reverse sweep, a lot of what they were saying was that this is a team that is just pugging for the most part. Corrupt Esports is also playing in challengers, so can't always be there with the team. But when they're going into a match, they're like, okay, what comp do we think counters this? Sometimes they're going to add a random Teo into a chamber team like Wadada, or they're going to play Shopify again on Corrode, and they're going to pull out this new Waylay comp. They're so willing to just play something fresh completely on the fly.
And that's not easy to pull up with, you know? Day after day, new ideas, but it's also not easy to react to either. Shopify is a team that is kind of the opposite of YFP. They're so drilled, they have so much time together, so much practice, but they also would have come into this game with a lot of prep and a lot of ante, ready for that, you know, typical double smoke comp with the Clove they saw previously. Very different story this time, so Mel has to figure out these rounds as they come. And already locating Corrupt's position.
Fast rotates though from YFP. They dominated mid-control early, and there's already players in sight.
Important though, YFP used the Waylay ult to stall out the hit onto B. A little spam looked like from Noya, will secure a kill. But YFP have done well to already break the deadlock wall that Alexis chucked over the top and bring a few players onto the site.
I think that was off of Sarah's start. It went unbroken as the rest of the team was distracted breaking that wall.
Yeah, YFP got some practice against the deadlock yesterday, but having to worry about the darts and things make it a little more complicated.
They still have a good crossfire here. Trademark left and Oppen and Odin to hold this line.
And Shopify haven't gone anywhere. Annihilation ready for Alexis on the entry if they need. Some teleports and flashes. Now that shock dart comes out and breaks it. Shopify Rebellion ready to teleport into the site and get this hit going. 3 players holding, though, and that ultimate goes wide. All of a sudden, Glowstick trades 1-for-1. Sherrod into the site. The Soul Survivor here takes down 2. And now 10 seconds left on the clock. Shopify Rebellion should be able to plant the spike. Nora taking her time with Paranoia, teleporting up top, but surely she's revealed, and she will fall to Alexis.
Really critical loss there early for YFP with the player getting tagged by the dart on that site. But they still had opportunities to win the round. Credit to Shopify in the way that they scaled in. This comp has a lot of tools to get through chokes, and I think even if Dodo hasn't been having some of the best individual form throughout this tournament, particularly in these last couple of games, she's been really consistent as just a full committed dive player. If she's on the Neon, if she's on the Yoru, she's always willing to TP in there. And in combination with Mel, those two work as such a duo to open up these sites.
Absolutely. So much trust between the members of Shopify Rebellion. Their teammates to have their back. Early mid-space C as his fight goes down. Sherrod again with the support of Glowstick. Just tears open the middle of the map.
Nearly did it last round for Sherrod, now finding that impact here. The SR lurkers try and find something, but yeah, Corrode's just holding that.
Alexis, considering buying a different gun back in spawn this round, has the spike, but I mean, your entire team is dead at 1 minute and 15 seconds on the clock. I don't envy this position exactly.
No, it's not the greatest, let's say. Corrupt is so aggressive when they're playing main on this map. It's something I was noticing last time they were playing.
Ooh.
Alexis gets the better of them there, but they're always going to be trying to walk up, test in the mid-round as this Viper. And this is a YFP team who, I think in part, because they are so puggy, because they do change their comp so often, you're really frequently going to see them play like 3-1-1 or 4-1s, where they're just going for something aggressive together one side and just leaving Corrupt alone. But they're just so good in those positions.
30 seconds left.
Always taking chances to step forward into the empty space. Let's see what Alexis can do. It would be a big win to be able to plant the spike, but now being tagged up by the dart makes it a lot harder. All the walls just paper, so Alexis is gonna have to keep the gun out here and try her best, but Scary Shark around the corner will take her down.
So YFP pull ahead early. Beyond just fighting up into mains, they also have great ideas of how to fight from mid control. You see teams try the chamber comps on this map sometimes. It's a bit less frequent. You do see a lot of the Waylay. And I think on defense, the biggest strengths of the Waylay are, one, you can actually go for fast mid-take looks. You can double dash in on either side of the map and take that space without much risk. But also, it's just such a good agent, as you saw like on that round 2, to walk up behind your chamber and kind of get into these deep in-bed positions. You can really go back and forth with the two of those.
Shopify Rebellion onto an eco now. Use a cage to cross and hopefully use the lower range to punish the operator. Not going to happen, though. Sherrod is just a little bit too quick with it. Already this round starting to slip away, and now Shopify Rebellion, maybe you see a timeout in the next round, but really, Mimi, they need to be thinking about how these early fights just have continually been going YFP's way, right? It's always this chamber taking opportunities, whether it's mid or into the mains. Shopify Rebellion have been struggling to find success against it early.
Yeah, I'd like to see them try and start more towards mid in some of these rounds. They're going to go for a re-clear in this one. Zoriantel is stuck. No util to really get out here.
Oh, and looking up, we'll get the one. At the same time, Nora had stepped all the way up into A main, so major control over the map, and now with a little bit of pressure to come in. And she looks to regroup with the rest of the team. Again, the little wins for Shopify is going to be planting the spike, getting the extra 300 creds for the squad, but unfortunately for them, they're already maxed out on ults. It's not like they're playing for those in this round, although maybe Sarah with a rifle in hand can muster up something.
You need a Sarah masterclass here. Shopify will group towards spawn, try and get some space there, but that's not where YFP's coming. They're just going to group as 4, and that makes it so difficult for Shopify to win this.
The trade should always be here, especially now with Sarah revealing her hand. But if she can find a couple of kills, the Hunter's Fury in the back of her mind. Dart comes out, and the first one goes her way, already half stuck on the spike. And even if the kills come in, I think we're just going to be sticking the spike through. So YFP will take this one without too many worries into the round. Operator held onto. And now Shopify, that question we were asking, how do you deal with Sherrod? It needs to be something they answer because, frankly, Mimi, they never found the answer the previous time these teams faced off on Karod.
No, they really didn't. That op, once it got online, was finding so much value. And thanks to YFP winning that eco round on the second, they're going to have that op for pretty much ever on this defense now. I think Shopify really have to just start together on these extremities. And honestly, before you're even putting util in, just hold for a second, then re-clear up with the drone. Have to be very thorough in everything you do. Is this round they're going to simplify and just work on this B main space as 5.
Yep, grab that dimensional drift from Dodo. It's the same round as previous, except this time guns and the ultimate to accelerate into the site. Now YFP have 3 players here, but there is a Hunter's Fury from Sarah to try and collect 1 tag already, and Sarah, always good for 1 with that ability, will tear open this site, give a 2-player advantage to Shopify.
The body block there was very nice from Dodo, and with Mel TPing up heaven, this is going to be a very strong post plant when you combine that with these deadlock sensors deployed.
Yeah, deadlock to control the mid rotates, and well, Dodo and the rest of the team to peer back into spawn. Even a little teleport up into heaven from Mel to hold this crossfire with the Oru on the other side. Shopify Rebellion, you can see with 5 players alive how comfortable they are to set up forward in the post plant. Nice shot from Dodo. Instantly take out Sherrod, and well, now Sherrod's been dealt with, I suppose. If you can avoid the chamber in the early rounds. Obviously, the last time these teams faced, it was Sherrod on the Clove, so a lot more rifling in the mix, a lot more of these active fights, mobility, but the chamber
they still
adds that
found just
extra
as much impact and provided just as much pressure it felt on either. Yeah, a 30 bomb to lose by just 1 round in that match. That was a real heartbreak for YFP. It's why they had to go on this whole crusade to reverse sweep in the lower final. But let's talk win conditions for these teams. I think Shopify, on their attack side, their big thing is when they can group, take a site, and get a set post plant. That's where they're winning. YFP does not have fantastic tools to get back in against the deadlock sensors, against the Cypher util. It's just so hard. Where YFP is going to win is whittling away in the mid round, like they were doing in those early rounds. Fighting up, getting picks for Sherrod, getting corrupt in positions. That's how they want to play this.
It is interesting to me that Effys has yet to call a timeout even when the rounds were going poorly, and it speaks to me that he's liking what he's hearing from Mel in the comms. Mel has adjusted in the last few rounds, just running these full 5-player execs into mains, making sure they have bodies to be able to trade out, even if the chamber on the other side gets the opening kill. This time Sherrod over towards B, and Shopify finds a relatively weak A site. Just spotting Nora over into the corner, calling in some support, but Shopify Rebellion aren't exactly slowing down just yet. Now some purchase into the site. Spike should go down with a sensor on top of it. And it's going to be an absolute mess in the post plant with the Viper's Pit threatening a little peer out from YFP.
But they don't have a flash to get out of that, just the Omen Paranoia. It's going to be really hard to fight through that pit.
Fake teleport.
Don't exactly know where YFP go from here. They're taking their time, calling Sherrod in with the rest of the team. First part of business very likely is looking into some elbow control, but maybe they want to try and find out where Dodonut is first. That what just happened? The pit comes down and all of a sudden, so does the rest of YFP. Nora, with nothing left to do, as with a simple pull down of the pit, the round ends.
And that's where some of the puggier style gets the better of you there. That pit didn't go quite deep enough to actually deny a spike plant. Where you're going to get the power is when you can be spamming as they're planting and fighting up. But as soon as you have to retake, because they're not playing Yoru, they have no choice but to drop it, and they pick the worst possible timing right as that net comes in to do so.
Because the alternative is you step out of the smoke, but then the other side has the advantage. So you
They
run into
literally have a
situations where
crossfire
you
that you're sprinting into.
get mowed down. So it makes sense to pull it down, but things going fairly poorly as again, Shopify Rebellion strong into A. This time, though, a little bit more of a lurk presence on the other side of the map.
I think this is a good read for Shopify against a team that is not going to have a super deep strat book, isn't going to have amazing protocols for the retake because they've switched their comp like a million times now, and because they are a bit of a puggier squad. If you can just force them into execs, force them into retakes, and not let them win by attrition, it's going to be really successful.
And it's strong map control as well, right? This drone going into mid after Shopify freeze. After making a lot of noise in A main. Now Dodo steps forward, but the trades aren't exactly there. Mel will eventually get into the mix. YFP a little bit stuck inside the smokes. The net stops them from peeking their little heads out. Shopify Rebellion, I'm not exactly sure if they want to advance all the way forward. They did throw that wall into Elba, but YFP have the numbers here. And now with a net of their own, a little hindrance, all of a sudden jumping up. Zoriental will drop to Sarah. Shopify Rebellion holding their ground, taking their time. Understanding that, well, yes, the clock is down to 30 seconds. YFP are the ones feeling a little bit more pressure. And yet, with 25 seconds left, they are heading into the chamber. Sherrod, who's been so lights out with the teleport setup, will get the first kill and snip away. 20 seconds left onto the clock. Sherrod, 85 HP. Just has to buy some time, just has to stop the plant from going down. The clock continuing to wind, but now, with pressure coming in from both angles, Shopify Rebellion have time to get the spike down. Now utility sent back into Nora. Sarah finds 3 onto the round. And while there was a glimmer of hope for YFP, it will certainly be Shopify taking the lead once more. Unless the IGL corrupt with a rifle in hand, no sir, it's not going to happen.
Huge credit to Alexis. All of her grab nets that round were so impactful. Shopify slow things down, wait for the aggression to come on that anti-eco, and as they realize something's up towards elbow on it, there's a grab net. That's what reveals Zoriental's position. As they get into the B site, despite losing Mel and Sherrod having the opportunity to reposition into site, Sherrod gets caught by another grab net that then allows SR to swing in and help out. She's getting so much impact off every refresh of that piece of utility.
Well, YFP dropping 3 rounds in a row, maybe with a stronger idea to fight up into A main, getting in front of the net, but Zoriental doesn't connect on the first shot and will have to rewind back into main. Still, though, it means that Shopify Rebellion are playing a round that looks a little bit more similar to the pistol, where they don't have that full space in either of the mains. They're taking their time before regrouping into B.
No op in the hands of Sherrod this round. Money didn't quite allow it, so it looks a bit more like when they were playing the Clove, just working down into mid.
Shadows traveling.
Corrupt has always been going for these jump peaks, and Noya heard it. Now stepping forward, and that's going to be an easy punish. A little bit too much Corrupt was looking for. And now teleports going on to the opposite end of that tripwire. Shopify Rebellion are into the site, and a beautiful paranoia as well. Stops any attempt at a flood. So YFP try to go in, but Glowstick goes down before getting the Hunter's Fury off. Sarah with a lurk up into mid. And now chances to get more and more kills. The utility comes in behind it. Now reveals Sherrod's position. Allows Sarah to just post up simply. YFP don't really have a chance into the round. Sarah's just going to jump swing right into the angle.
Okay,
but
Sarah.
Even then, I don't think you play this one.
I think that Brock winning champions will have done reprehensible damage to just Valorant as a whole.
Yeah.
The Odin of his... Okay, I don't want to say that Brock is the only reason that people are running the Odin, because it's always been amazing on Corrode, and Sarah has always been a big fan of it, but I just can't think of it now every time I see a player, like, lurking mid, getting 2 kills with just an Odin at long range. It's really nice from Sarah there. And Dodo's even going to clean up onto Sherrod, hurt that money a bit more for YFP. And Actually, that's going to have an impact. That'll mean one less player with a real rifle this round.
Yeah. Well, it also means maybe YFP don't have money to buy 2 or 3 or 4 Odins. Which is
So true.
going to put them at a distinct 1-0 disadvantage. These
Yeah.
are the main things you think about on a map like this.
That was good of Shopify last round to keep track of Corrupt fighting for that B main space every time. Just contact up, get the punish. Now they're going to go back to these A execs that have been successful before, but the big 2 for YFP, they're here to hold.
Sherrod seems to want to challenge this a little more aggressively. Was seen through the sliver of the smoke. Now just out in the open, playing for the off angle. I'm not sure if Shopify are going to want to continue forward. Wow, they just stay open in the line. The smoke goes down. That'll be an easy kill, and well, there's no real hope of a trade. Zoriental's got a sheriff in hand. Sure, that got 4 pistols. And the eco round 2. It's a little bit of a different story, maybe not. I don't know. All of a sudden, the spam starts to come in. That'll be 2 kills, and Zoriental lights up main. Maybe a chance for Noya to activate on the lurk now. No one was looking at mid, and Noya is taking her time. Waiting for it. She doesn't just want 1, she doesn't just want 2, she wants 3. 1, 2, line them up. And they drop just like that. Corrupt, though, has been able to use this time to walk into the site. One player's gonna have to plant, and now Corrupt reveals. 3 seconds left on the clock. Knows there's a sensor on the corner. Can't quite find it. You can see the pressure Corrupt is feeling in this moment. And yet still challenging onto the line to jump swing, and Alexis comes through for Shopify.
What excellent patience out of Noya on the lurk. YFP nearly wrangled control of that round. Credit to Zoriental with the Sheriff doing damage. But Noya bides just enough time to find the gap, walks in for 2, and Alexis follows up so well to end up winning that round. This is now 5 in a row that Shopify have won after getting ecoed and losing control of this map. They are staunchly in command.
Yeah.
And YFP now have a last chance here with rifles.
And again, it's surprising. It's 5 in a row without a timeout called. This is Mel finding the answers on her own. This is Effie's trusting her to be able to do that. As again, Shopify just continue playing for mains. This has just been the solution. And again, it is with the dimensional drift to come into the site. Now, Sarah doesn't have the ultimate to follow off of. So this time, it's going to be Dono trying to peek on out. Sarah with the Odin, just full entering into the site, but Nora up on top is making things all sorts of chaotic. It'll be Shopify with a slight edge coming out into the post plant.
But this wall is up, so YFP, they're staggered out. These last 2 players are going to have to try and work through 1 choke point.
Sherrod with the operator in hand. They're not even trying to break it. They don't want to reveal where they are on the map. And this is good for them. This causes Shopify to keep thinking about elbow, thinking about the flank. But now Zoriental not ready behind the box. That first kill, a little bit labored. Sherrod will secure the trade, but needs more time, needs more assistance. It's Sherrod versus the world, and the world is just stronger. Shopify Rebellion lead 8-4 at the half.
They found the solution, and it was as simple as slow down the beginning of these rounds, take mains as a pack, go for more executes, and then set up these excellent post plants with the deadlock. For Sherrod, that was the most impactful player. The last time these teams played, they got cut off for the rest of that first half. Now going into the second, things change a little bit. It's YFP instead who gets to show us what they have ready with this new composition.
I mean, obviously you talked earlier about the benefits of the waylay. It's seizing a lot more early mid space. To me, it looks like that's exactly what we're going to be getting. Positioning now for a split.
I think the best counter is that the net is also excellent to take that space. That's what Shopify is setting up to throw early.
Shopify have 4 players ready to meet this fight. But there's the double dash, as mentioned, and immediately pulling back from the team. So it's Shopify with full mid control. That means quick rotations over into the A site, but maybe not quick enough. YFP already blitzing back towards elbow, and Shopify are quick on their heels. See Donut with quick teleport into back site. More support on the way. It's these opening fights that'll be everything. Traded evenly for now. As a wall stops any sort of advance, allows Mel to worry just about the advance from yard. And now with Noya coming in, it seems like around every corner, Shopify should have 1 extra player. It seems like a 6v5 in the server. And YFP just never ready for that extra angle.
Glowstick has had the spike the whole time, but has no real chance to get into the A site. They'll walk around and try and find some type of pick, but all roads seem to lead to a walk back into this B site.
Yeah, mad dash into B when the clock gets low, get a spike down.
Or hope
Maybe give
that's
yourself...
exactly what SR think, and you
'Cause you
hold as they
kinda-
push you?
I don't know, we'll see. Are they going to clear this corner? It's a silly corner to try and clear 2 kills all of a sudden for Glowstick. And now it's 1-on-1. Knows exactly where that last player is. Glowstick has the chance to get the plant down. At the very least, this allows a force into the next round. At the most, it means YFP win this pistol and can start snowballing into the half.
Dodo has
It's
a
the
TP
duelist on
set
the other
up.
side. And a TP back towards spawn. Glowstick likes their chances on this angle. Sees the... Oh, no! Can't secure the shot! The pressure is going to be there. Glowstick has had to jump every single angle in this round. But now when it matters, will not be able to pull the trigger. Dodonut.
Portal closed.
Steady hands for Shopify to take this pistol.
Such a good try. 2 Glowstick there. Tucks in the corner, gets 2 kills. Even had an opportunity onto Dodo as well. 2 chances, really, that don't quite go their way. And instead, it's SR to just keep this train rolling. The way that SR played this flood into the A site was very nice. Look at the smoke that Mel is throwing down, just into the courtyard there. It's normally where Vipers are throwing down their orb, but she uses it to quickly get 2 players out from mid and into that site, and combined with the Yoru TP into spawn, they almost immediately had a crossfire as YFP was coming out of elbow, and that's what cooked that initial fight.
It was a stronghold, but because of the heroics of Glowstick, Spike going down, the extra money in YFP's pocket, they do have a force. The map really riding on the results of this round for YFP to stay alive here, and it's a little more reserved from Shopify this time around. Playing on the other side of this Viper wall. YFP haven't made too much noise just yet, seeing if Sherrod can activate a lurk into B.
You want to see them be the hero. They remember the 30 kills that couldn't quite win this map last time.
Noya not really offering a fight into the hero on B. Drones traded in mid and A main as YFP do good to break away the deadlock while now try and shift back into Sherrod. Sherrod's gonna know, hear and see the camera on the other end. And now by signaling early on, by the rest of YFP being quiet in A main, this has given Sarah the info to move on to B.
Yeah, they never took mid control, so SR will have fast rotates.
Sarah with a stinger in hand. Right up on top of this smoke. A tough angle to clear away, and no one's gonna clear it. Sarah gets 1, gets 2 with noise support on the other end. And now Nora just so low on HP. Shopify Rebellion keep things clean and shut down the force.
And that is surely the opportunity to win map 1 slipping away for YFP. They put everything into this force buy. It doesn't go their way. And now they're gonna hammer their first time out of this half.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing.
I
I talked so much about Effie's not calling the timeout in the first half. This is, what, 8 rounds in a row won by Shopify until YFP? Pause it?
Definitely
Seems
could
like
have
it
used
just
with
be a little too late.
Yeah, a change in the game plan the first half. You're hoping you could have gotten at least 1 or 2 more. Give a little padding. But they do not have it. Instead, have to look ahead to this round where they're not particularly close to any ultimates. They don't have any money. Shopify is going to hold on to an outlaw for Mel, and all signs seem to point to Shopify going up 11-4.
YFP were locking in a brand new comp in this game, switching things up even just from yesterday, where they got smoked 13-4 on the map. Sure, they're not having great memories of that, but they were able to rally back, pull off the reverse sweep. After you do that in a lower final versus a team of the caliber of Wadada, I think your mental can never be broken ever again.
No.
There will always be hope in the YFP camp, but it's hard to have that on a round like this.
No, not quite. But they have proven that they can go the distance, that they have that endurance. It's hard to do it twice in a row, that's for certain. Especially since, you know, I don't think it was an absolutely massive advantage, but Shopify gets to pick where this series goes. It's not a lot bought in, just some sheriffs and a fight in B main.
Yeah, they can't just keep on forcing, or they're never going to have rifles, so... This time running into very early deadlock utility. Wall goes down immediately just to halt the advance if this were to be 5 players in B main.
It seems like every time YFP want to excel a site, Alexis is there, has a wall ready to go. And by the time it gets broken, oh, guess what? Dodo is teleported over. There's 3 players waiting on the site. And then someone is in a funky position that punishes them.
Feels almost like you're forced to open up strong into one of the mains versus the Cypher deadlock composition because you just have to break Sentinel utility early in the round, or it's just so easy for Shopify to bunker down late into the round, and, well, YFP do exactly that, then try to go back into mid, but what are you going to find in mid? Probably Sarah frags.
Yeah, normally on this map, like, your biggest goal as an attacker is to get that control into mid and let your lurkers work up. It becomes all the more hard with double Senti. Sarah's gonna get forward here, a bit risky with the Bulldog.
You can't fool her. As soon as the smoke goes down, threatening the crossover.
30 seconds left.
Sarah pulls out the recon dart, now jumps into the smoke, switches to the classic. It's just all there for Sarah.
Let her ace,
10
maybe?
HP. An ace, perhaps, yeah, looks like Shopify are going to try and give an opportunity over. I mean, honestly, if you're playing optimally, you don't get the ace and you just let Sherrod live with no gun in hand.
Boo! Sarah gets an ace, the iBUYPOWER ace for the Sarah frags. Get out of here. I don't care, they're up 11-1. She can have it.
Okay, yeah, get your eco ace. Why not? Yeah, great. Don't ask what kind of guns
You have nothing
YFP
more
were
to
bringing
say?
to the fight. Nothing more to
Okay.
say than that.
Actual negative Nancy. She's
Shopify already up 11-4. They don't need any more hype on the eco ace.
Okay, let's give it to YFP then. This
here.
is their rifle round. This is truly the last chance. They're gonna send it on a B exec, but this is into the deadlock, Yuto.
Yeah, and that wall comes out very early from Alexis, as we've seen. Actually, not being pulled just yet. So this May, Alexis didn't use the crouch net either, so
Yeah.
you might even think the Cypher's on the B side of the map.
I
They
think
don't have
that is
perfect
what's
info
gonna tell
just
them.
yet,
'Cause
although coming straight into Mel's, Oriental clears away that corner nicely. That's going to push Shopify out of mid space.
But that is a win for YFP. They're going to be able to hold on to this space in B main. Now the re-clear coming. Scary Shark under pressure.
Nice shot. More players behind it as well. Dodo will eventually get the trade, but look at this. Look at mid. 4 players from YFP. A little hard to finish into the B site without any control over main. And yet that's exactly what YFP are going to try for. Rifle advantage for them. Now the spike. How are you going to plan it for? Without that control over main. The first shot goes Sarah's way. And yet there is another challenger back in main. Dodo could make things very annoying for YFP.
Anoya's got a judge. She's basically a non-factor here. It all comes down to Dodo not in main.
And glow stick on the off angle. Tucked away in hot. Dodo with a good clear. Brings it down to 2-on-2.
Enemy remaining.
And the Sheriff from Noya rips Corrupt's head straight off. And the judge switching back into it. Shopify Rebellion from an unwinnable position. Steal the round.
Update. She's a factor running through CT with only a judge and a sheriff. Somehow, she's the one to get 2 and spawn and put a stake in the heart of YFP on this map.
Sure, why not? I guess the combination of a Sheriff for the one-tap headshot and the judge for the close range, that's just better than a Vandal.
Uh-huh. Yeah, for sure.
In Noya's hand.
That's definitely the way you expect that to go. Okay.
Wild stuff. And now
um,
that completely extinguishes the light for YFP. They do have the money now maxing out on the loss bonus, but 8 rounds trailing. And that is 10 rounds secured in a row for Shopify.
Yeah. They've got a great ult combo this round. They've got weaponry. They've got the momentum. But they don't have Dodo. An opening pick in mid for Sherrod. A better start than previous rounds.
Not sure if that was full spam or had a little pixel on the curvature of the smoke. Now the smoke going down. No one's looking at Mel. It's a 1-for-1. And Sarah also holding the line, doesn't let off the trigger. Nice shot out of Sherrod to get her on the escape. Brings things down into a 2-on-2. And there's no information over on the A side of the map, just Alexis if he chooses to turn back around.
The only smoke left will be that orb for the cross into A, but a sonic sensor that they'll have to be very quiet past.
But Sherrod and Corrupt have been the heroes for YFP in the main event so far. Corrupt putting up the numbers and calling. Sherrod being so sharp on the
you need
shots,
to clear
but not
this.
clearing the corner. Oh no, not again.
Defenders
Alexis just ratting it out. Takes this map 13-4 in mirror form to yesterday.